Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be taking you through the process I use to take all of the screenshots that appear in my submissions. I've discovered that most people haven't found the sweet spot when taking screenshots for their submissions. Fortunately, I've taken it upon myself to share with the masses my methods for taking clean screenshots that clearly demonstrate the mods within them. Things not to do include, you should not take screenshots in the loadout menu unless necessary. Do not use a picture of the texture as a screenshot. Do not take your screenshots on low graphics settings. Do not obstruct your screenshot in any manner unless totally necessary to point out a detail. And last but not least, do not take screenshots that don't have your skin visible in them. When taking a screenshot, you will need to input a few console commands. If you don't have the developer console enabled, it can be turned on in your keyboard settings by clicking on Advanced and checking the box next to Enable Developer Console. From there, you can press the tilde key above the tab key on your keyboard. On some laptop keyboards, it will be to the left of the Enter/Return key. For the purpose of procuring our screenshots, we are going to create a local listen server. To do this, we are going to open the console and input the map command. When we do this, we will put the word map into the name of the map we're going to use in our screenshots. In this case, we're going to use 2fort, so the console input will go as follows: map ctf_2fort. To clear your screen of unnecessary elements to take your screenshots, you will need to input a few console commands. First, you should enable cheats to allow you to change the variables you need to edit by inputting the following into the console: sv_cheats_1. Next, if the screenshot isn't for anything in the HUD, disable it using the command cl_drawHUD0. Finally, if the screenshot isn't for anything in your hands, disable the VIEWMODEL. The command for that is r_drawViewModel_0. There are a multitude of ways to save your screenshots, but we're going to go over the most straightforward way in this tutorial. First, look at your keyboard. There should be a button 3 keys above the arrow keys, labeled anywhere between print screen and PRTSC. On certain keyboard layouts or laptops, this key will generally be above backspace or as one of the function keys. Press that key and it will take a picture of all your displays and copy it to your clipboard. Once that's done, immediately open your graphical editing software and paste the clipboard as a new image. If you have multiple displays, you will have to crop out the display that has your game on it. Do this for all of your screenshots. Once that's done, you should have several images/layers in your graphical editing software's workspace. It's worth noting that not all graphical editing software will support more than one image open at a time. If this is the case, save each image before importing the next one. Save all of these images in a folder associated with your mod so you can easily find them again later when submitting your mod. Usually, the first step in taking a screenshot for a spray will be to find a TF2 map with a variety of surface colors. The reason this is important is because the majority of the time somebody sees a spray, it's always going to be on a different surface than before. Item test is acceptable, but I generally stray away from it due to the lack of variety in surface color. My recommendation would be using ctf2fort, because it fits the aesthetic of TF2 perfectly, and there are a variety of dark and light surfaces to showcase your spray on. The surface upon which you show your spray is usually more important for sprays that are transparent. The reason for this is the edges of your spray could contain white pixels or other kinds of feathering. And if it does, showing it on a bright surface could conceal those mistakes from your viewers. By showing your spray in a variety of environments, it guarantees the quality of your spray, thus making it more appealing to potential downloaders. So it's best to take a screenshot on 3 different surfaces with varying levels of brightness. Screenshot 1 should be on a relatively bright color, Screenshot 2 should be on a medium bright color, and Screenshot 3 should be on a dark color. It is worth noting that you should take pictures of sprays on a wall, not a ceiling or a floor. Just like with sprays, the first step in taking a screenshot will be to find a TF2 map. Although with skins, it's more important that the map fits the TF2 art style. This is even more important with skins than sprays because skins usually are meant to fit in with the TF2 art style, where sprays aren't always in line with the style. This means using maps like CP Orange are out of the question completely. No! Again, using item test is acceptable, but I generally stray away from it due to how dull the environment looks. My recommendation would be using ctf2fort because it fits the aesthetic of TF2, and the area outside each main spawn room is ideal for screenshots. The area you show your skin in has a huge impact on how it's perceived. All of your screenshots should be taken in a relatively well-lit area that doesn't have oversaturated light or intense shadows. Environmental ambient light from the sun works really well for this, but the lighting in most rooms of a Valve-made map will work just as well. Also take into consideration how your skin will interact with the environment. If it glows in the dark, you should take a screenshot in the dark to show that. If it reflects its environment using env_cubemap, you should show that by showing it in a variety of environments. When taking screenshots of a skin that is visible in the first-person view of the player, you should always take a few utilizing the inspect animations to show as much of the skin as possible. As a rule of thumb, I take 4 to 5 screenshots of the weapon, one of them being the idle animation and the rest taken during the inspect animation at different frames. In this example, I'm using the black rose outside the main spawn area for red team on TF2 fort. When taking screenshots of a skin that is visible in the first-person view of the player, it's almost always visible from third person as well. There are exceptions to that rule, however, a few of them being the Spy's Invis Watch and any arm textures for first-person models. When taking a screenshot of yourself in third person, there are important things to note. By default, the third-person camera is super far away from your weapons. This can make it difficult to see your item from third person. The best way to work around this involves inputting console commands, so make sure you've enabled your console and set SV cheats to 1. Input these commands in order. cam_idle dist up, -60, and then third person. Once you've done that, you will notice the camera is level with your feet. Back up towards the wall, and it will raise your camera higher up and closer to your chest. Once you feel it is close enough to your player, open the console again and then input this command. THIRDPERSON_Maya mode. Once that's done, turn your player towards the camera and stand at an angle where your item is clearly visible. Be sure to take screenshots from multiple angles in the weapon by turning your player to a different direction. When taking a screenshot of a bot, you first need to ensure the bot is the proper class and is wielding the proper weapon. To ensure this, we are going to utilize a tool called Item Test. Open your console and input the following command. Item Test. This should open up a menu. Check the box for the class you want to test the item on and then click the Add button next to Weapon. This will open up a smaller window. In this window, click on the drop-down box and find the weapon you need. After doing so, click OK. Now make sure at the top right, in the bot controls panel, you check the Auto Add box. After this is all done, click Apply Test Items at the bottom of the screen. If you go to red spawn, there should be a bot standing in the spawn room holding the item you specified. You can then use him to take your screenshots. It's worth noting that any bots that already existed before you use the item test menu will also adhere to the parameters you entered into the menu, unless they are the incorrect class. This concludes my guide on how to take high quality screenshots. If you feel there's something I didn't cover, please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.